Rob, the tribe has spoken. Why did they do this to you? Why? I'm so sorry, Rob. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to end this way. God. Everyone could see that coming. Hello, how's it going? I am the Survivor Dude, and welcome to another mind-blowing episode filled with amazing stuff of Survivor. Not necessarily mind-blowing result. I kind of felt like that was the way it was going. Boston Rob, the Rob father, the butcher of, I don't know, was there anybody that memorable? The butcher of Matt on Redemption Island has been slain and sent off to exile. And, not so surprisingly, I kind of figured this is what he was going to do. He's bequeathed, if you will, his tokens to Parvati. So yeah, things in the game are getting interesting. So we got these now 3 tribes, and every single one of them, I think, has an interesting dynamic. I mean, most times when there's a swap, there's just one tribe that's kind of boring, but it's winners at war. There's not going to be a boring tribe this time. One tribe, you got Tony, Sandra, Kim, that's from the original Tikal tribe, and then you got who's it? Denise and Jeremy from the other tribe. Now, let's start with them. The interesting thing I see about this tribe is that every single one of them has an advantage except for Tony. How crazy is that? Sandra has an idol. Kim has an idol. Okay, stop it on that. Apparently, Kim has an idol. It took us, 3 episodes to find out that she actually had one. You'd think it could have been a small detail you let us know earlier, but no, now, 3 episodes later from when she found it, we find out that she has a whole idol. But, okay, so she has an idol, and Tony doesn't have anything, but Jeremy has the power advantage without power. Denise has her idol. Sandra has an idol. It's like, here's the thing. I'm imagining scenarios like, okay, what if they go to tribal council? Sandra will play her idol, she'll be safe. That will probably trigger Denise to play her idol, and she'll be safe. Jeremy, whether or not he used his safety without power, might not be safe. Kim could then play an idol, and she would be safe. That would leave Tony the only person left to go. How crazy is that? I don't want that to happen, guys. Don't let that happen to my Tony, please. Although that would be kind of ironic justice that he's been doing really well by making sure he doesn't get any advantages and that he has to go because he's the only one that doesn't have an advantage. But that's the dynamic of that tribe. On the green tribe, we have no longer, but we originally had Boston Rob, Adam, and Ben. And I love how they pointed out that nobody hit it. This is the most fractured 3 that could have gone in there. The last time they voted together, none of these 3 were on the same page. Adam was out to lunch. Rob his ally was being blindsided, and Ben was the only one on the right side of the vote, but wasn't in control of it, really. It was being forced. He was just going along with it. So it's like, you could not have gotten a more fractured 3, and it didn't surprise me at all that none of them voted. Although I am a little surprised that Sarah did not use her steal a vote advantage, because they must have been so obviously not together to the point where it's like, it's like they had to, because like, honestly, I don't know about you, but that would have freaked me out with nobody talking at tribal. Not a single person, before tribal, I mean. Not a single person just sitting there doing nothing. I would have, honestly, and this is just me, but I think that some people, sometimes, like, because Rob does this, right, where he makes it awkward so nobody wants to talk around. I was just like, if they were really in danger, apparently they weren't, but if they were, I would be like, why doesn't someone just say, hey, Ben, Adam, let's vote Rob out tonight? Just have an open forum right there. If you can't take them aside, let's discuss it right then and there. Make your case. I mean, sure, Rob's going to try to be like, can you believe that chick? She's so crazy. But I think it's good to get, if you can get it all down in the open, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that is such a fractured group, and I don't even know if, like, going into the next one, I think Sarah and Sophie are going to have their pick of which one of them goes. You know, they could be like, let's vote off Wendell, or not Wendell, sorry. They could be like, let's vote off Ben, or let's vote off Adam, and they could make it happen. Not just because they have the idol and the steal vote. Although, congratulations on Sophie for finding her first immunity idol. I mean, she was given half, but it was given back to Kim. But Sophie now has an immunity idol, and she is good to go. Her game is very well set. Because I think she's on the group where she could convince Adam to vote for Ben or Ben to vote for Adam very easily, and if they weren't, then they could use a steal vote or an idol if they wanted to. They have all the power in that tribe, in that group, and I think that's a good place to be like, hey, we got a couple of numbers that we could get through before we have to even consider going for either one of us. But then on the other tribe, on the blue tribe, on Sele, we have another interesting situation because you got Yul, you got Wendell, and then you got Nick, and I don't see any of those three flipping any which way. You know, none of them. None of them are going to be flipping on each other. I don't see it happening, especially now that we know how, well, Parvati is a humongous threat, but also we know that Wendell is and Michelle ended on not so good terms. But on the flip side of that, we now have Parvati with 4 fire tokens, which I believe is technically enough to buy a hidden immunity idol. So, depending on how things go, it could get very interesting for the blue tribe very quickly. Because they don't have enough to split the vote. And Parvati is really good at reading people. And yeah, it's that's a little. Now it all depends on who on the edge of extinction finds it. I think if Ethan or Rob, Amber, or even Tyson maybe find it, they can, because like it all depends on who has the most coins, right? Like if you have an advantage that, let's say, costs 4 coins, you know, then you can. Yeah, anyways, but yeah, now, Parvati has the same amount as Natalie. How crazy is that? And she's still in the game. If Natalie sells a 4-coin advantage to Parvati, that could be worth a lot. But anyways, it's so interesting because, like, look, I'm not a fan of the Edge of Extinction, but it's like you got these miners going out and mining all these advantages for you. But, yeah, but the Michelle Wendell thing, that felt really awkward. Like, Michelle was calling him Babe. Like, there was actually a weird moment where when Parvati and Wendell were working on the puzzle and she said, "You got it, babes." I'm like, oh, what's going on there? Okay, but anyway, when it kind of made it seem like they were in a relationship and then Wendell might have been unfaithful to her. Now, I don't want anybody to be saying that as a fact or anything. She said that he betrayed her trust or something like that in real life. That doesn't necessarily mean unfaithful. It could have meant lying. It could have meant anything within terms of a relationship. But I don't know what that means for next time. Because here's the thing. I don't feel like Wendell or Nick or Yul are going to flip. I thought that maybe like Yul and Parvati might have a connection. But the thing is, Parvati didn't know Yul's wife's name? Are you kidding me, Parv? I mean, I know Yul said he only really connected and stayed in touch with Penner, but still, not even Becky? Not even Becky? Really? Oh, but anyways. But I find that funny that, like, there's absolutely zero connection between them. They might as well not even play together with how much they know each other. But I'm glad to see that they're back on the same tribe again. Like, I don't know if he will use her at all, if he will say, maybe I can work with Parvati down the line, she's someone that I've worked with, and so I have a little bit of a connection there, or maybe he's like, I know Parvati's game, that's why I voted her out last time, she's too dangerous. It's going to be interesting. As I said, she has 4 fire tokens, maybe that can help her buy an advantage. Sandra is safe, we know, for the next one. Because she's going to play that idol and she's not going to play it on anyone else. I don't care if everyone tells her it's going to be Tony. She will not play on Tony to save Tony because she will only look after herself. Besides, I think they would think that Tony's more likely to have an idol than Sandra wouldn't vote off Sandra. So here's the thing. Is it good for Kim to go with Jeremy and Denise over Tony and Sandra? I'm not actually sure if it is. Because think about it, the meat shield strategy is the new way to go for the big threats. And I love Tony's analogy is like, we're the lions, if we don't stick together as a pride, we're going to get eaten by the hyenas. I mean, Tony must have been watching Lion King before he came out here, but it's a fair point. I think that Sandra and Tony, that could be a work in, you know? Now, I think that if they don't go to tribal council, I think this could be a deadly 5. I mean, think about it. I mean, both of them have a few extra connections, but not as many. This could be a deadly group going into the merge. You know, it's like if they are able to stick together. Now, if they go to tribal, which next time it's going to look like it's a double vote off. Now, who knows if this one person voted off with 2 tribes or if it's the 2 people getting voted off. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, besides that, I don't really think there's much else I really need to say. It's just the tribes are split really interesting. It's going to be interesting no matter what happens the next episode because there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm hoping for the Red Tribe to continue to win. I don't know why. I love everyone in that group. Kim's my winner pick. Tony, I don't want to go home. Jeremy is my other winner pick, and Denise is really good as well, and so is Sandra. Yeah, I'm still cheering for the Red Tribe. I also don't want you to go home. Those are my real thing heartbreakers if they went home right now. But of course they're not going home, they're going to the edge of extinction. So let's get over to the players, the MVP of the week. I think I gotta give it for a tie for Sophie and Sarah. I mean, I would almost want to edge out Sarah, but Sophie found the idol. Sarah seemed to be confident enough not to play her steal a vote. So I think both of them, you got to give them both equal amounts of credit because I don't see that one really pushed it over than the other one. So Sophie and Sarah, they're the winners of this MVP of the Week award. Good job, you guys were able to. It was, to be fair, it's not like you were convincing Eric to take off his immunity idol. That was a very fractured group, but you did a good job doing it and even got through the buddy system. Yeah, so now it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe Rob will raise the flag. Maybe like, I'll never be on the jury. Never put me on the jury. You know, I don't know. But in any case, Rob has never been on the jury. He's either made it to the end or has been voted out before the merge. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. But that's basically all I got. Any predictions? Not really. I think that Kim is the kingmaker of the Red Tribe. I think that the Blue Tribe, unless they get an idol and Parvati uses it correctly, I think that Michelle is probably in trouble. If they use it correctly I think Wendell will be the one that goes home on that group. For the Green Tribe, it's going to be Adam or Ben. If I was to say who I thought would be going from the Green Tribe, I would say that Adam and Sophie are probably going to get along a lot better. But then again, the cop and military angle with Ben could probably be a thing. But I think with Adam being completely out of the last vote, I think they'll probably go with Adam and vote Ben off. And I don't see Adam and Ben coming together to force a tie. I just don't see it happening. But anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you join me on my next recap of this crazy, crazy season. See which winner takes the walk of shame next. All right, adios.